So after we fire a crushing volley together, we are in the position to then load again as quickly as possible. So after a first volley, we'll receive the command of load. So you handle your cartridge, tear your cartridge, prime, shut your pans, click, cast about, load, draw your rammers, ram down your cartridge, return your rammers, and shoulder. And then we can march forward to get closer to the enemy, and then receive the command to make ready. 1, 2, 3, click, present, fire, bang. Now, after we fire a few shots at the enemy, hopefully by this point they're starting to waver. Also, if we all fire at once, we're all empty at once. So if you can picture having 30 soldiers fire all together, and then as they're loading, then another group of 30 soldiers can fire. And then as they're loading, a group of 30 soldiers in the middle can fire. So if we stagger our fire, then that keeps the enemy on their heels. After we fire a few shots, we're then ready for the next weapon, sometimes called the weapon of decision. So, shoulder your firelocks to the right face. As we're facing the enemy, we can then receive the command to fix your bayonets. So this is done as follows. 1, raise your right hand, grab your musket low. 2, or at the same time rather, you bring your left hand up. So together it looks like fix your bayonets. That's 1. And then at 2, you sink your musket down to the ground by your left foot, and you take your right hand and reach onto your bayonet. And then at 3, you will flash your bayonet in the sun to intimidate the enemy. If you don't have an actual bayonet yourself, then you're welcome just to raise your right hand and shout, swing! So, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, swing! Now, when you fix your bayonet, it makes a very loud clicking sound. So, you can also then shout, click, as you fix your bayonet, again, to intimidate your enemy. We then receive the command to shoulder your firelocks back up on our side. So now that the enemy can see our bayonets gleaming in the sun, we're then ready to receive the next command, which is in 3 motions. Bayonets to intimidate the enemy. So this command is called charge your bayonets. When you hear that command, you grab your musket down low and put on your most ferocious looking war face. So the final step, or the final count, is when you point your bayonet at the enemy, and you will shout, huzzah, as loud as you can to intimidate them, stepping back with your right foot behind your left foot. Notice how your bayonet is straight at the enemy. You're holding it almost like a pike. The longman English muskets come up to my nose, so they're almost as long as a pike as well if your bayonet is fixed. So, from here we can return to shoulder your firelocks. So let's try that again. Charge your bayonets, huzzah! And from here we can march right at the enemy. It's also customary at times, every 3 steps, when you hear the command to the front march, 1, 2, 3, huzzah! 1, 2, 3, huzzah! Marching right at the enemy to intimidate them. Now remember, if you are 2 or 3 lines deep, even if the soldier in front gets their bayonet knocked aside, the soldier behind them can reach over their shoulder with their bayonet to run through the enemy. So an unstoppable wall of steel and scarlet. That's how those British redcoats train to fight. And we Americans, if we have any hope of meeting them, we also have to be able to fight the same way. So, those are some things to practice. The last thing that we need to learn to do, however, is to salute with the musket. If you receive the command to salute, to give honor, you can salute by hand, by musket, by sword, whatever weapon you have. So to salute with the musket, the command is called present your arms. 1, 2, 3. Very similar to the command to rest your firelocks. You can then receive the command to shoulder your firelocks back to your side. So let's try that all together then. In 3 motions, present your arms. 1, 2, 3. Shoulder your firelocks back to your side. All right, recruits, so I think that was some fine drill for today. So, Godspeed in your preparations to defend our homes and firesides here in Georgia. Well done. To let you out of formation, the command is break ranks. You put your right foot behind your left foot and put your right hand behind your back to snap all your gear to your side. Then when you hear the command of march, you'll spin around. You'll take 1, 2, 3 steps. Then you'll shout, huzzah, because you're glad that I'm done yelling at you. And you can go ahead and enjoy a break. So, attention, break ranks, march. 1, 2, 3, huzzah!